Welcome to the Raider Life Podcast. I'm your host, Charlie Boots. This interview has been trimmed from its original format to meet YouTube and Facebook's video standards. For entire episodes and bonus interviews, head on over to RaiderLife.com or subscribe on the Apple Podcast app. Now, let's get into this week's episode. Christian, how are you?
I'm doing good, my man. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. And I mean, man, I look at your journey, getting ready for this episode. It's so inspiring, and I'd love to take it all the way back to Nigeria. And your hometown name, Enugu, is that correct?
Yes, Enugu, that's where I was born and grew up.
So, growing up, you didn't play football. So what were the physical activities that, excited you? And what sports were you playing over there?
Well, soccer was the mainstay in Nigeria. We played soccer. Every kid played soccer in Nigeria. And then towards the middle of my high school years, I transitioned into track and field. And track and field was the sport that I came to the Azusa Pacific University to play and run. And I had developed to the level of competing in the Olympics, but in '84, Nigeria didn't take me to the Olympics. That's when I switched to football.
Oh, man. They got to be kicking themselves over that one.
Well, you know what they say, every disappointment is a blessing,
That is for sure. I mean, that has to blow your mind. I mean, and you were a stud. 7 shot put, hammer throws. Were you powerlifting when you lived in Nigeria?
Well, we worked out for the events that we, for the shot put and discus throw. You're always lifting weights. You have to remain big and strong. And so that's what I did, in preparation for that. And thank God it was the same kind of training that you had to do for football.
So was it like hard for you how long did it take you to just first get the concept of the game of football?
Well, I never got used to football until even I retired from the Chiefs,
Jeez.
Football was strange, and I had to continue working at it and making improvements every day up until the day I retired.
Was there any, growing up, did you know about the Lombardi Trophy? Did you know about any of that stuff?
I didn't know about football, let alone Lombardi Trophy. Are you kidding me?
Oh my God!
So, was there an athlete that you admired growing up in Nigeria?
I admired soccer players. We had our professional soccer teams and players and all that. So I admired a lot of them, but none of the American, big sports, professional sports athletes, anything, because I didn't know anything about basketball or football in America. Right. And soccer wasn't that big in America.
Wow.
It's getting bigger now, getting better now.
Yeah, it's growing.
Yeah. But we have athletes like Christian Chukwu, Emmanuel Okala. Those are our, big names in Nigeria as far as soccer is concerned.
Well, we're going to get to the California Sports Hall of Fame in a second, but that would be cool to hear one of those guys get a little something over there. That would be cool. So when you were what were your friends saying? Your friends back home when you got to the National Football League? What did they have to tell you?
Well, they of course they supported me, and they were happy that I was doing it. It's one of those things when you're doing good, people supported you. But before you got started, people are saying, "Oh, what are you doing? Are you crazy?"
Right. Right.
That's how it goes. That's a gem right there. He said, "Once you're doing good, folks, the people supported it." That's so true. Why do you think it's like that, Christian?
Well, that's just life, People like good things, So it's kind of like when a team is winning in LA, when the Lakers are winning, people will love them. When they are losing, people don't go to the game, But Laker fans are diehards anyway. They'll go to the game anyhow. But a good example is the Clippers. If they're bad, nobody goes to the game. But when they're winning,
right,
the arena is filled up. So that's just how human behavior works out.
Man, I wonder, what are your thoughts on the Raiders? Because, I mean, you travel. Oh, well, I guess you always played the L.A. Raiders, right? You never played the Oakland Raiders.
No, I played the L.A. Raiders.
Right, and it's cool. You got a couple of them in the in the California Sports Hall of Fame now. So Bo Jackson's in, Marcus Allen's in, and that's beautiful to see.
Yeah, we got, it's California, so anybody that plays sports in California is qualified.
Man, we got to get Cliff Branch and Fred Biletnikoff.
Yeah, Fred Biletnikoff, he's already in.
Cliff.
Jim Otto is in.
00.
You know, we throw some part. We got to get Cliff Branch in. Then we throw a big party there. Cliff Branch is one of those guys. It's amazing he's not in the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I think he deserves it.
I mean, geez, 3 Super Bowls down. What was it like? What was it like when you get the '89 AFC Offensive Player of the Year? Is your mind blown that you find this new game and you get to the top level?
When something like that happens to you, it's kind of like, it's a reward of your hard work. Yeah, it's a reward of your hard work and the time to say thank you to those who worked with you and kind of helped you along the way.
You know, I have a bunch of Nigerian buddies, and one thing that they all have in common is great discipline. Like with whatever, and they're all in different fields, but great discipline. Does that come with the culture?
Well, it's the culture, yeah. Yeah, the culture. As a culture, we were raised to respect, listen, do more listening than talking. That way you learn and kind of be aware of your surroundings. That's how I was raised. And I know a lot of my friends, that's how they are raised.
Are those similar traits? When you opened the California Sports Hall of Fame, like what were the main goals for you? Because, I mean, it's incredible to see what it's at now. But when it started, what were the main goals?
Well, what's doing right now is actually my main goal, to get as many people as we can and then eventually have our own museum and a playground where, kids can come and learn about, those heroes who have brought all the happiness and sports performances that we see, like, Magic Johnson and the rest of them, Joe Montana, and many coaches like Tommy Lasorda, Bill Walsh, and so on and so forth. Yeah. So it's kind of like a history place where kids can go and see those people they've heard so much about and watched on YouTube to learn more about them.
Who was like the? I'm sure there've been so many guys that blew your mind, but who was the first one where you're like, wow, this is one of the most memorable inductions for me? Was it the first one?
Oh, the very first one, because we had 19 individuals inducted in the first one. So, and that's like the who is who's in California sport. So the first one was a good kickoff for it, and it's been going on strong.
Jeez. How'd you come up with that first list? Like the first year, how'd you decide how to crack it open?
Well, it's just, we have the board that picked the first one, and then after the first one, the members have to get involved. The members are the ones that nominate and choose who gets in. So once you get inducted, you become a member, and you become one of those who will choose the future inductees.
That's exactly how this should, folks. That's amazing to hear, Christian, because that is exactly how Hall of Fames should be run. Like, what are your thoughts on how the Pro Football Hall of Fame does it with the reporters? Because I mean that frustrates me a lot.
Yeah, it does frustrate me too, because you have some guys who, if they don't like you, they won't vote for you. Kind of like Terrell Owens. Yeah, Terrell Owens never done drugs, never been in jail, but they won't put him in because they don't like him. What kind of nonsense is that? That guy is like what, number 2 or 3 in receiving all time. In how many categories? And you can't put him in first ballot. I mean, that's it's one of those things that needs to be talked about, because you have to have the guys who are in it to vote.
Exactly.
Not if somebody who's announcing on TV and never played any sport, then boom, he becomes qualified to cast a ballot for, somebody who's sweated all his life, broken bones and surgeries and stuff to make the game what it is. You hate him for one reason. because, you think he's a destroyer of locker rooms. You didn't talk to his teammate to find out, if he destroyed locker rooms. His teammates love him, but it's just from the outside looking in, people make their conclusions. You see, I'm just one voice.
That's an important voice, and it's a truthful voice. I mean, it's just simple and plain. At Hall of Fames, folks, no matter what it is, if we're talking sports, music, science, the best should be defined by the best. Not just people who witnessed it, but people who were there sharing these battlefields with them and seeing them do the things they did. It's almost common sense.
Yeah, it is common sense. I mean, I can pick up another person like Pete Rose. Pete Rose,
right.
He's done a lot for the game. And okay, he gambled and he lied about it and so on and so forth for so many years, and then he apologized. I mean, why keep the man out? Life is about forgiveness and giving the second chance. Let the man be in the hall. He deserves it. He lied. Okay. He lied and he apologized. Hate him all you want, but the man was a monster on baseball, diamond. Put him in there.
Absolutely.
Put him in there.
That's a man who made marks on the game that will always be remembered. That's an icon. You can't judge him off of an off the field incident like that. It is amazing, man. But it's cool to see. Look at that. Like, you're actually in the driver's seat of the California Sports Hall of Fame, and you got the right mindset, man. That's an awesome thing to see.
Well, that's why I made sure that members are the ones that will nominate and vote for who gets in. I made sure that the members are the ones who will choose who gets in.
We've seen some, as much as I hate to say this, we've seen some fierce running backs from the Kansas City Chiefs. I wanted to compare these three guys and see what you thought. Priest Holmes, Larry Johnson, Marcus Allen. Which one was the most impressive to you and why?
Marcus Allen, because Marcus Allen is just like what he did with the Raiders, and then he came to the Kansas City Chiefs and kind of ended his career there. But he's been doing it, and he did it for a long time. Priest Holmes, of course, is extremely impressive, with the numbers that he put out. Larry was awesome, and Larry, he just ended his own career prematurely, with his attitude and stuff. But physically and the things that he did on the field, it was incredible.
Man, it had to blow your mind taking it to the Bo Jackson and Marcus Allen. You were a stud in the TecmoBowl video game. Does it amaze you to see how far video games have come?
Yes, it has. Yes, it has. Madden football is just incredible. Lifelike and all that. It's incredible.
Wild.
Really is wild. So I want to talk this 2017 class. We got a friend of the show, Lee Steinberg, inducted, Michelle Kwan, Byron Scott, James Lofton, who did his time in silver and black, and John Force. It's a nice class we got this year.
Yeah, John Force, and then we have, don't forget Lee Steinberg, too. He's a sports agent.
No, he's a friend of the show. Lee was on recently, and we talked about it. It's just incredible. Imagine the contracts. What blows your mind the most? How far the contracts have come, or how far the stadiums have come?
Well, everything in sports is just improving and getting better. I mean, when I was playing, I remember the older players coming back and say, "Wow, look at the money you guys are making now." Now we're saying the same thing about the guys who are playing today.
Right.
It's just it's never ending.
Do you think it'll? How long do you think that'll continue upward for?
I have no idea, but it's going pretty good right now.
Yeah, true. Can't complain now.
Yeah, and the game is changing for the better too. So,
does it make you happy to see? I mean, that's got to be cool for you. When you first landed, and you first were experiencing football, did you have any thoughts about all the headshots?
I thought about it, but not very much. I was young, and I felt like I could run through a brick wall.
Right.
So,
well, you could.
And I could, and I tried. But that's what happens when you're young. The kids who are young, they don't think about all those things. They don't think about when they turn 55, 60 years old, what's going to happen to them. I mean, they're just having fun because it's there to have.
Yeah, That's for sure. What do you tell and what do you think of the two moves? Because two teams you played a lot, Chargers moving, Raiders moving. You got any thoughts on the moves?
Well, the Chargers moving is one thing I don't like, because San Diego, they love their team over there. And especially them going and playing in a stadium that only has 35,000 seats instead of staying in San Diego for those 2 years and then migrating to LA. It doesn't make any sense at all. I don't think the Raiders are going to pick up and go to Vegas and start playing on UNLV Stadium. If they're going to stay in Oakland, no matter how bad they think it is or people think the Oakland Stadium is, they're going to stay there until the new stadium is built and then they move. That's a smart move right there.
Right, and that's how you do it. Now, you've been to Vegas?
Have I been to Vegas? Who haven't? Who hasn't?
So if you were a young man, right? Picture yourself when you first came over and you got you get paid, you're playing football. Do you think you could handle Vegas?
If I was a young man?
Yeah.
Well, of course. If you're 19, 20 years old, you got to be so dumb to lose yourself in Vegas. You know what I'm saying? Especially the league and the team helping you. You got to be, dumb as, what, to lose yourself in Vegas. So I don't think that's going to be so bad. I don't think it's going to be, you're going to find a couple of people who are going to, run astray and make a fool of themselves, here and there, but it happens in every city.
True. You're going to get the same exact temptations in every city because every major city has the same ones, and it's just about you making the most of your opportunity.
That's right.
Now, let me ask you a question. When your friends back home, and when you first heard the nickname, the Nigerian Nightmare, did you think, oh, that's one of the baddest nicknames I ever heard?
Of course. I didn't reject it. I didn't reject it, man.
I'll take that. Oh, man. Yeah, you don't get much better than that. What's your favorite Nigerian food?
Favorite Nigerian food? I eat anything, man. Our mainstay is rice and stew, tomato stew with goat meat and stuff like. And then we have a variety of vegetable soups that we eat. There are so many, types of food that we have in Nigeria.
Oh man, I would love to check out Nigeria.
Yeah, Nigeria is awesome, man.
It's like they got a night scene out there in Nigeria, right?
Oh yeah, of course.
When you was television? What was the television like when you were growing up over there? Because you came over here and you've been on a bunch of television shows.
Yeah, television is I think we had 3 or 4 channels when I was growing up, but right now it's kind of like we have cable in Nigeria.
Right, so it's all the same thing.
Yeah, we have several cable companies now in Nigeria. So
were you always fascinated? Were you always fascinated with TV?
Yes and no. If something interesting comes on, yeah, I watch it, but not fascinated.
That's so cool, man. To think, to really think of you came from across the other side of the world, not knowing about this game, become a star in the game, have now the California Sports Hall of Fame, been on television out here. It's just incredible, man. What do you think when you look back on your whole journey?
I think that I'm blessed. I think I'm blessed. That's the only way I can answer that question.
Man, that's got to be a beautiful thing. And I can't wait to get out there to the California Sports Hall of Fame, meet you out there. So the induction this year, June 25th, folks, June 25th. And where could they get more information on that?
Go to CaliforniaSportsHallOfFame.org. All the information is right there.
And you could even see the past inductees. I saw our boy Ted Hendricks on there before. And it's, you get to read about every athlete, and they're all in a chronological order, the year they were inducted. And, man, I wish you a lot of luck this year. It's going to be a beautiful show.
Well, thank you so much, man. We're working hard at it and making sure that it is a beautiful show.
And, man, thank you so much for taking the time to come on and catch up with us.
All right, my man. Thank you so much.
Well, that'll do it for this week's episode. Thanks for joining us again here on the Raider Life Podcast. I'm your host, Charlie Boots, and for more episodes, head on over to RaiderLife.com. Don't forget, follow us on Twitter at RaiderLifePOD and on Facebook by searching Charlie Boots. God bless you and your families, and I'll see you next time here on the Raider Life.